lied about the humanitarian conditions in Liberty. Next, we saw the promise of resettlement, rapid resettlement for the asylum seekers who were to move to Liberty in order to be resettled. Again, we saw Martin Kobler lie about the rapid resettlement of those in Camp Liberty. And finally, we heard that Camp Liberty was safe and secure when all of your family members told us and showed us where this was not true. But Martin Kobler said that it was true and that they would be safe. Martin Kobler lied again about the safety of Camp Liberty. So what do we have to do today? We have to call on all of those of good conscience at the United Nations to say, is Martin Kobler worthy of the name a UN commissioner when it comes to the protection and safety of the people in Camp Liberty? Is Martin Kobler worthy of being trusted again? Is Martin Kobler worthy of promising the protection, safety, and resettlement of the people of Camp Liberty? No, he is not. And the UN must say so, and say so aggressively. Martin Kobler must go. Number one, the UN must move people right away, today, to Camp Ashraf. And the United Nations and the United States must be clear that any inaction from here on out can unmistakably be seen as complicity with any future lives lost.
And I would also like to ask the question whether the Secretary General feels it would be appropriate to re-evaluate the offices of Martin Kobler. The trust that is lost cannot be established again, and therefore the Secretary General must consider the possibility to replace him. And by the way, it does not really help that Mr. Kobler's wife, the German ambassador to Baghdad, issued a statement which is not acceptable, to make it very clear that this statement of the German ambassador to Baghdad is not the position of the German government. This statement shows a sheer ignorance and political incompetence.
The government of Iraq was originating and allowing and wanting and organizing this attack. The logistics to perpetrate the attack were under the government of Iraq's supervision. The decisions were taken in the military office of the Prime Minister of Iraq. And they were coordinated with the Iranian ambassador in Baghdad, Mr. Danai. And this is what we are going to oppose today. We are not allowing silence to just cover the massacre that the Iranian government wants to perpetrate against his political opponent. We want the people of Ashraf that are today in Camp Liberty, we want them safe. The first move is to have them back to Camp Ashraf. But we also want responsibility from the Secretary General of the UN, Mr. Ban Ki-moon. We want a decision from him explaining what is Mr. Martin Kobler doing in Iraq, because we believe that he has betrayed the confidence he had been granted, and he has brought shame to his mission.
Well, we have failed, Madam Rajavi, and most importantly, the friends of the American Friends of the MEK, we have failed the residents of Ashraf and the residents of Liberty, because we were lied to by Mr. Kobler, we were misled by our own government, and we fell for it. We helped persuade Madam Rajavi to persuade the leadership at Ashraf to begin the resettlement process. It's also a hellhole. Every promise that was made about the conditions at Liberty, about what's in the MOU, what the residents of Ashraf could bring with them, almost every promise has been violated. And we fought hard to get individual promises lived up to by the government of Iraq. But we were complicit in telling these people that they should move and they would be more secure.